So really good question to understand. This is more your state rank now. This is the hardest one. 300,000 fish in a pond. You are every year, I sell how many fish do you want to sell? Only, it's going to take forever. 200, so much. Let's go with 25,000. I think that's a nice, just so we can go for a good period of time. All right, every year I sell 25,000. I start selling after the first year. I sell after the first year. So the first year I don't sell it. The second year I start selling. Just to add that in there, just so you guys understand how that works. But of course, my fish also reproduce every year, right? You gotta understand that. So they will grow. So I'm not right. My fish reproduce. You got to just understand that my fish will grow. My fish grow at a rate. We'll keep it the same as before. We'll keep it with 6% this time. My fish grow at a rate of 6% per annum. So every year I take off 25,000. I sell after the first year. My fish grow. So I mean I sell only in the second year. Does that make sense? But they still would have grown in that first year, obviously. My fish grow at a rate of 6% per annum. I think that's it. Let's see what the hell. How does this work? Okay, so A1. Let's start with A1. The amount remaining after the first. You want to just use your laptop?
That's fine.
Okay.
Do you sell it at the beginning of the year or the end?
We sell at the end of the year. End of the year. Just so you know, technically it doesn't make a big difference as long as you pick your, like technically the end of one year is the beginning of the other year. As long as you're doing your math that way. But I might have to show you one. If you're confused about end of beginning, show me a question, I'll tell you how to simplify it. Because your teachers again will tell you, no, this is different, but I'll tell you, no, it's actually the same, just you go pick the year.
Yeah.
Pick where you want to start from and then it's the same. Because the end, like December 31st is the same as January 1st to me. So the way I'll do my math, it's going to be the same. To your teachers, it's going to be two different things. So we've got to show me questions. That's all I can say about that. Back to this, A1, what's the amount after the first year? Well, after the first year would have been 300,000. That's how much I had. Then these guys would have grown. Do we agree? They would grow 1 plus 6%. And then that's it. Right? That's actually A1. I didn't sell any that year. So that's like superannuation. True? Good. That's what I'm saying. It's good to just understand. All right, what happens? What's the figure? Well, let's try to not write a figure actually. Let's keep it just like this. Let's keep it like that. 300,000, 1.06. Okay, what happens in A2? Do I add any? Like, is it like, sorry, what I was trying to say, do I add any as in, is it like superannuation? Am I going to go and add more? It's not really like that. Just so you guys understand. I'm adding more because of the 6% growth. Is that what you meant? Yeah. But I'm not specifically putting in $20 every week. It's not like that. So it's just going to be A1. A1, the amount I had in that, like the 1st of January, let's say. True. And then what happens in that year? It would have grown 1.06. And then what did I start doing at the end of that year? I started selling. So minus 25,000. It actually makes sense.
So
it could have been superannuation, yeah.
And then
it could have been superannuation if I done A1 plus I put in 25,000 fish.
Okay.
Let's just say I could have done that every year. I put in exactly 25,000 fish. That could be superannuation. This, or it could have also been like I could make the superannuation a loan repayment. Ready? Exactly. Do everything you just did in superannuation. But what if at the end of every year I want to take off $25,000? It would have been looking like this now. Even though it's a superannuation question, it starts to look like a loan repayment question. They're both exactly the same, just so you know. It's just understanding. But do we get that? Good. What would, and then A1, plug it in. I think we get that. 300,000. 1.06 to the power of 2 minus 25,000. Well, let's do A3. What's A3 then? A3 would be A2 times this, and then every year we just keep giving 25,000 away. How funny would it be if you guys had this as a question in your exam? All right. Then what do we do? Before that. Say again? Before that.
Put it in the assembly.
You got to look for your series. Which one's your series? Your series is the right side. Minus 25,000, minus 25,000, 1.06. Next one. Oh yeah, you can factorize, as you said. Factorize. You'll only factorize 25 out this time. And what is AN this time? If you can get AN out, that means you really listen to what I just said with superannuation. Forget what you've learned at school, you're going to understand it. So let's see if you actually can get this bit out. Ready? AN. 300, I think we all agree with that, so I'm not going to say that. 1.06, this is the bit, to the power of, I agree, minus 25,000. 1 plus 1.06 plus 1.06 squared plus ... plus 1.06 to the power of... Incorrect.
N.
Incorrect.
N plus N.
Incorrect. That's why I said if you really had listened and understood.
2.
Very close.
N minus 1 plus 2. N minus 1 plus 1. N minus 2.
Let's do it one more time. So we understand how to look for this. Please, you've got to learn what I'm about to show you one more time. What number is this? 3. This number is?
1.
It is 2 less. So if this is N, this needs to be N minus 2. 2 less. You've got to really make a note of that. You've got to really understand that. The cheat is you look at A3. Is that clear? It's clear? All right, whatever you say. I'll move on to the next page, next line, and next page. Actually, I did run out of room. Where is it? Page. All right, equals 300,000, 1.06 to the power of N minus 25,000. What's A? Now we hesitate. Don't hesitate. What's A? A. 1. What's R? Now careful. I gave you a clue. What's N? Careful.
N minus 1. N minus 2.
You're right.
Because you're doing N minus 2 plus 1 still.
You're not don't look at this power, because if you look at this power, that means you would have started from 1. You're not starting from 1, you're starting from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, N minus 2. So there is exactly N minus 1 left. Rn minus 1 over R minus 1. Oh, this is a good state rank one. All right, simplify as much as you can. Let's see what you guys would have done if I said simplify. I'll pause. I'll pause. So simplify as much as you can. You know what I showed you before. Okay, talk to me. Didn't work out?
Got this.
3,600. Wait a second. I don't want to answer that. I don't want to answer that. Nobody ever would write it like that.
Is this as hard as it gets?
This is actually a pretty hard one. As hard as it gets. I can probably make it one bit harder by, you know, I said it grows, well, I sell 25,000. Maybe I could have said I actually lose, let's say, 2%. And you had to think, oh, that's 25,000, and you have to do the math. It's 300K as it grows. So it's always A1 times 2% of that. So it's a series within a series. So if you want to see that one, 2018 HSC.
Oh my god.
Really good one. Or 2019. 2019, actually. 2019. Okay, if I was trying to simplify this fully, let's see. Let's see, I would have got this 300,000, 1.06 to the n, minus, I've gone to my calculator, I would have put in 25,000 over 1.06 minus 1, which is what I just taught you guys. Then you would have got a really big decimal, but then you don't use a decimal, you use a fraction, which looks even weirder. So 1,250,000, 1,250,000 on 3 of 1.06 to the n minus 1 minus 1. That is really good. If you can get to that, you're at a very high advanced level. No, not very high. You're at a high advanced level. If you want to go very high for this one now, you've got to be kicking it up one bit more. How can I simplify this even further? Now, extension students would really struggle with this as well. And that's what I meant by very high advanced. Sorry.
Rid of the fractions altogether.
No.
Okay.
No. If I want to simplify this, you've got to understand, I don't like the fact that the powers are very different. So what I'm thinking is there a way for me to make the powers the same? Then I think about, oh, there actually is, because I can use my index laws for n minus 1 and change it to an n times to the power of negative 1. Watch. Equals 300,000. 1.06 to the n minus 1,250,000 on 3. Break this up using index laws would look like this. Let's write time so we don't get ourselves confused. Do we agree with that? Using index laws, I could write it like that. Now I'm just showing you, it's going to be algebra for the rest of this. This would be the actual state ranking part now. Like I said, extension students would even struggle with this, because they just would not see it. Continue. Next line. Equals. Does anyone feel like they can see what I'm going to do? No? Rosie, can you see what I'm about to do? Tyler, yes or no?
I'll put it in the denominator.
I'm going to put in the denominator soon enough. Times, and then eventually. That's what I mean. That's going to be your competition. So you guys are getting there. That's all right, let's go. 300,000. 1.06 to the n minus 1,250,000 over 3. I'm going to bring this down, obviously, so it will look something like this. What do I do now? I'm going to make it a common denominator. Please don't think this is about loan repayments. Don't think this is just, no, sorry, what I'm trying to say is, you know, you said I've only got superannuation. Don't think this is, I've made this hard because loan repayments. I can make this hard for superannuation. It's exactly the same. So don't think it's because of the word. It's not going to do the word. It's, the math is going to be exactly the same either way. So don't cross it off your list of, I don't need to worry about this because it's not in my exam. It can be. Now how do I simplify it? Now that it's a common denominator. Can you see, I can again do what I just did above. I can put this one over this one. So then eventually I can multiply it in and simplify these two. Next line. Equals. I really don't want to rewrite this, but I have to. There it is. Now, 1250,123 over 3 divided by 1.06. Okay, that does not simplify to a fraction anymore.
I did 1.06 times the first term, so it comes to 300,000, 1.06 n plus 2.
What do you mean? Go say it again. Oh, 125 times 1.06 n, and then the other one, and then 3 times 1.06. Yeah, but then you'll always have the fraction. Yeah, which is no, I don't want to. Sorry, we'll have to. Sorry? No, you can't. That's why I'm just going to round it. Times, divide by 1.06. All right, we're just going to round, so it's going to be minus 393,081.761. We'll just make it 76 cents for argument's sake. 1.6 to the n minus 1.606. Almost there. We're going to expand. Well, since we've already rounded, let's round this guy. 41666.67. Final answer, 41666.67 minus 93,081.76, 1.06 to the n. It's not about marks. Even if it was worth 1 mark, you got to understand it's state rank. So when I say state rank, we're talking about you coming first in the state, not getting 90, because 90 is not for this. That would have been like a band 5, band 6 question. This is first in the state. Because remember, extension students have to sit the paper as well. Because extension students sit the paper, this or max min problems are usually the hardest too. Because even extension students will struggle with those two. So they make those two the hardest two. So me, I would have gone and studied this again and again and again and again if I knew it was going to be a state rank, because